Hey everybody, I'm Jenny Civey. This is our new video series for our NSW PEP data center group. So welcome to NSW PEP Talks. Last week I talked about the basics of data centers and the types of data centers. So this week I want to continue with some basics and talk about data center capacity. So let's get started. I mentioned last week that data centers can range from a small server closet to a 1,000,000 square foot building. But instead of physical size, you often hear about data centers in terms of capacity. And this capacity is measured in terms of power, so kilowatts and megawatts. Data center capacity is measured in watts because power consumption is a critical factor in the operation and efficiency of data centers. A way to think of this is that you can stack one or many servers into a 2 by 3 foot or 2 by 4 foot floor space. Let me make a little room. How many you can stack depends in large part by how efficiently you can cool them, which we'll definitely talk about more in future videos. But the more servers you can stack closely together, the more you get out of each square foot of building space, and this is the density. Data centers house a lot of equipment which all consume electricity. The total power consumption in watts directly influences the design and operation of the cooling systems needed to dissipate the heat generated by all this equipment. Efficient cooling is vital to prevent overheating, which can cause damaged equipment and lead to downtime. Let's slide it over and make some room. So if you have two data centers that have the same square footage, but one has invested in cooling so that they can fit twice as many servers in that same space as the other one, then they have twice the capacity. You hear a lot about power consumption with relation to data centers. Knowing the power consumption helps in planning for future growth and scalability as well. Data centers need to have adequate power infrastructure to support additional equipment and increase load. So when you hear how big a data center is or how big the data center market is in a city, you'll hear it expressed in kilowatts or megawatts. Let's move this up one more time. As we start getting further into data centers, if you know the number of racks and rack density of a data center, then you can do some rough math to calculate the capacity. Or if you know the capacity and rack density, you can calculate the number of racks and so on. To give you an idea of how capacity has progressed over time, in the early 2000s, the average density was 1 to 3 kilowatt per rack. In the late 2000s, it increased to about 5 to 10 kilowatt per rack. By the 2010s, it was 8 to 20 kilowatt per rack. In the late teens, say 2015 and beyond, it got up to about 30 kilowatts per rack. And now we're starting to see 100 plus kilowatts per rack in data centers. Power densities have been getting higher over the years, and AI is only going to drive this further. We're definitely going to talk a lot more about this in future videos. So let's put all this back on screen. So that's data center capacity basics. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.